Okay, this video is going along with Chapter 12, Section 3. Here we're talking about sinking funds and amortization payments. Okay, sinking fund is basically where you are putting money aside for later use. And so that's why they just kind of sink it away for a rainy day type of a deal. And so the formula there is pretty straightforward for us for a change. Future value of the sinking fund over the future value table factor. So we've been figuring the table factors exactly the same way. Now for sinking funds, you probably need to put this in your notes. You use table 12.1. Okay, 12.1 for a sinking fund. So in order to get these values, we're looking up the table factor exactly the same way that we have been before. So semi-annually, twice a year. So each period then is going to be 5% or 0.005, right? 5% is our chart. We don't need to put it in a formula, right? So just the 5% works. And we had twice for 8 years, so 16 is our periods. So when we look that up then, we get a table factor of 23.65749. So the nice part about that then is we're just looking then at putting the future value in, and we're dividing it by the table factor. Pretty straightforward. Okay, it's nice and easy formula here. So let's look at number 2. Future value, they want $0.25 annually 9%. So that's nice. You don't have to do any work there. So it's 9%, excuse me, on the rate, and the time then is 14 years. So 14 at 9, we get a table factor of 26.01919. So again, we're just putting our numbers in, dividing by our table factor. Okay, so we would need then to put in $9,608.29 every year in order to get that $0.25 that we need. Okay, so the next section, they're talking about amortization. Okay, you needed to be able to pay off a loan, so they're amortizing it. So in order to do that, we're going to use table 12.2. So again, put that in your notes. Sinking funds 12.1, amortization 12.2, and that makes a difference because the numbers are different in each chart. So we need to make sure you're using the right table. So we have the formula then is the original amount of the obligation. So in this case, it's $30,000 over the present value table factor. So in this particular problem, I already looked it up. 12 years, 9% every year, so it was annual, so we didn't have to do a whole lot there. So it's just 30,000 divided by 7.16073. Okay, and it gets exactly what we need to get. So these are pretty straightforward, fairly nice. Okay, let's do one of your homework problems. So we match here, make sure we're all on the same page. So the present value, $5,500. We're doing it every 3 months. So that's 4 times a year. Okay. 2% then each time. Total of 20 periods. Okay. It's 4 times 5 years, 20 periods. Table factor then, I'm speeding us up by already looking it up. We had 16.35143. So again, we're just putting these numbers in, 5500. We're dividing by the table factor. We would need to pay in then $336.36 every 3 months in order to pay off that debt loan. So, key concepts here for this first section: sinking fund, table 12.1. Amortization 12.2. Okay, So we have 12.1 for sinking fund, 12.2 for amortization. So let's do one word problem before we get to do the formula ones. So I like this one because it's pretty much real world. Jennifer Kaufman bought a used Purus for $15,500. She made a $2,500 down payment and is financing the balance over a 3-year, 12% interest. As her banker, calculate what equal monthly payments will be required to pay off the loan. Okay, so we're going to do amortization. Okay, amortization. So that we're going to need 12.2 table because that's an amortization. We're paying it off. All right. So we would have then the difference. So sale price was this. We paid some down. So our difference then is going to be 13,000. Not the 15.5 because we already gave him some money, remember? They needed a down payment. Okay, so then our table factor, 12% monthly, so that's going to be 1%. Okay, and going to need what? 36 periods because it's a 3-year period, monthly payments, so that's going to need 36 periods at 1%. So our table factor then should be 30.10751. Alright, so we're just plugging that in here. Try to scoot it all over here so we can see it as we plug stuff in. So 13,000 divided by so her monthly payments then need to be $431, and they're going to round up always, going to get that half penny out of you each month. So real world there. So you can kind of figure up your own car payments when you go in, if you're negotiating your best deal. You kind of already know what your payments are going to be. You don't have to rely on them by using this formula. So we're going to do some work with plugging it into a formula next, but this will get you through the first section. Just remember, key concepts. Can't emphasize enough. Sinking fund, 12.1. Amortization, 12.2. And with all chapters, you need to read the textbook that goes along with these sections. There's good information there, good business information. So, as I always do, strongly encourage. It's required. It's part of your assignment. I know some people don't, but you really need to.